So this is going to be an instructional video on a Chausson Etape 640 2025. First of all, I'm going to take you around the external and then we will go into the habitation and cab area. First things first, I'm going to show you how to open the bonnet. This is just in case you need to get access to there for the screen wash or to jump start the vehicle. On the Chausson, on the Ford, you use the main vehicle blade key to open it. You twist to the left, number 1, so that releases, and then you need 2 hands for this, but you twist to the right, that releases the catch while you lift up the bonnet. So as you can see, I have now got the bonnet open. Like I said, the main reasons you will need to access this is your screen wash fill is just here. And then if you need to jump start the vehicle, your positive terminal is here under this red cap here, and then your negative terminal, I'm just going to zoom in, see that metal hook just there, that is where your negative point would be. So now we are going to carry on around the habitation area, currently on the passenger side. If you need to fill up the vehicle with diesel or AdBlue, if you open the passenger door, the top compartment is your diesel, and then below here you just need to pull this and that is your AdBlue fill. Your AdBlue should last around between 4,000 to 5,000 miles. You will burn a bit more in the first use of the vehicle. And then your next compartment we come to, this is going to be your external shower point. This is just if you want to have a shower outside, nice cold shower, wash your boots down, wash the pets. The next one here is going to be your Truma flue. So the reason you need to take this cover off is if you are using your boiler on the hot side for your hot water on gas. This is just going to get rid of them fumes. If this cover is still on, the boiler should not fire up, but worst case scenario, always try to remember to take that cover off if you are going to use the hot water on gas. Your next compartment here is going to be your mains hookup. You can see this blue catch here, that is just to release the lead when you are pulling it out. And then here is going to be your service locker, which I'll open now. So we'll start from the left hand side. So in here we have got your habitation fuses here, and then your 240 volt main breaker for the habitation. Just so you know, this one on the far right with the sticker on is actually blank. So don't think this has tripped, it is not live. But you'd need to come to this if the vehicle does trip when you plug into mains hookup. 9 times out of 10 it is usually the site post you are taking the feed from. Your vehicle is quite good at protecting itself. And then here we have got your freshwater tank. To fill this up, you just need to twist this nozzle out here, take this black cap off, put the hose pipe in, and then when the water starts to come back out of this nozzle here, hopefully it falls down externally, but that means your freshwater tank is full. And then just below that you can see this valve here. So this is if you want to drain the freshwater tank from max level to minimum level. You have got a sticker below just explaining it, but basically that is in the position for the minimum level. If you close this down, that will then let your tank fill up all the way to the top. And the last thing in this area, underneath the vehicle, it's hard to show you on the camera, but right underneath there's a white drain tap. This is a John Guest speed fit tap. That is just if you want to drain the freshwater tank completely. And then the last part on the passenger side is going to be your garage area. As you can see, you have got these locking blocks here. You just need to push it in and that just locks into place. So this side of the garage on the passenger side is the tall compartment. You have got shelves up there, so you can lower the shelves down so you can have more storage shelf space. If not, if you want to carry your surfboard, as I say, or your skis, you can lift this up and then you've got the full height. Also in the garage area, you have tie down points on each corners. You've got your vent there for your heating. This is access into the habitation, so you can, through the bathroom side, you can access the garage area. And then just so you know, the reverse camera is just right down here now, lower down, just above the reg. Now we are on the driver's side. So the first compartment is going to be the garage again. This is a smaller access point. As you can see here, we have got a light in the garage. This won't work. This will only work when you can when you turn on the main control panel in the habitation. And then on this side as well, you have got a 12 volt socket and a 240 volt main socket when you are connected to mains hookup. And then as you can see, you've got loads of bits, mains lead, pump, all your manuals, instructions, your awning winder, carpets you'll see in here as well. You'll have a checklist on the day of collection to make sure all them components are there. This compartment, WC, is going to be your Thetford toilet cassette. As you can see, it's locked securely into place by this orange tab here, which is down. To release, lift up, pull towards you. That will then release the cassette, and then all you need to do is twist this orange nozzle out like so. If you need to empty or clean your cassette, take this grey cap off and then tilt up your cassette, put your thumb on this button. This just lets air into the top of the cassette so the fluids flow out evenly. Once finished, put the cap back on, twist the nozzle back in. Also, you can open this and clean internally, so you can get the hose pipe in there and make sure everything is cleaned out. Also, you can throw your chemical sachets in there, or you can pour on this cap here. It does have a leveler internally there, so you can level your fluids at the correct level. And then you can close all this back up, twist this nozzle back in, and we'll put the cassette back into place. So now that you've cleaned and emptied your toilet cassette, to put it back into place, all you need to do is push it in and make sure that this orange tab is securely down like so. This means your toilet cassette won't then release. The next compartment you come to is going to be your external gas point. This is just a quick release onto it. Obviously you've got a tap there to turn it on and off, so this is if you want to have a gas barbecuing effect externally. And then just below the rear axle on the driver's side, you can see here we have got your grey waste release. To empty this, you just need to pull it towards you, which is already open, and to close you just push it in. So push it in when you are using the vehicle, and then when you are going to empty it, pull it open. That will then drain all the grey waste over a grey grid on a campsite. And then if you are travelling onwards going home, you may as well leave your grey waste valve open. The reason for that, when you are travelling, just moving around in the vehicle, it will make sure that every part of the grey waste has come out of the tank. Here we have got some ventilation for your fridge and freezer. Keep this clear at all times, just so it's got the ventilation it needs. And then the last locker on the driver's side is going to be your LPG gas locker, which could fit one big tank in there. I think it's up to 11 kg. You got a gas hose there, a strap, and then your regulators just up here, which you connect onto the top. Obviously, when traveling, make sure you turn the gas off. And then the last part, externally, as you can see, this vehicle has got an awning on. I'll send a separate link how to set up and use the awning on the email. Now we will go into the habitation area. So as soon as you come into the habitation area, we have your mains control panel here. To turn it on completely, press and hold the power button, and then this one to the right is going to be your lights, as you can see. If you have switched the lights off at one of the main switches, obviously the main switch overrides this, so don't think that the lights ain't working. Just check the switch around the vehicle, like these ones here. If you have these switched off here, they won't come back on until you've used the switch. The next one along is going to be your fresh water pump. Only turn this on when you have got your fresh water tank filled. The reason for that, you don't want to run your pump dry with the tank empty, because you could potentially burn out the motor and you'd have to replace it. This one here is your awning / porch light above the habitation door. This one at the bottom left is going to be your habitation battery level. So you press this once, as you can see the gauge is going up. The next one along is going to be your main vehicle battery level. Press again and that will highlight. This one here is going to be your fresh water waste. Your fresh water tank. Obviously, if this is empty, 9 times out of 10, your grey waste is full. When the grey waste is full, it does flash here, but usually you know because you've run out of water anyway. And then this one here is just some brightness on the control panel you can change. And then to the right of that, we have got your diesel heater control. So you can turn it on and off on the top right, so the green is on, and then you can set your temperature, press enter, and then at the top you can set the speed of the fan. So you've got low, medium, high. Press enter on that and that will kick in. You will notice the lights do flicker when you initially start this up. The reason for this is because the initial build up, it takes a lot of power, and then once the diesel heater is running, everything just settles down. Also in here you can go through some of the settings. You can change the days for the time to come on and off. To turn it off, just press that button there and it will then do an afterburn on the diesel heater and just burn off any excess fuel in there. So that's that for the control panel side. This has got 4 travel. So this seat under here, you take these cushions up here, and as you can see the travel seat's there. To lift it up, you just twist this nozzle and then lift up yourself, and then you reuse these cushions to make up the travel seat on both sides. As you can see, I've got the cushions up here. The reason for this is where your Truma boiler is. The only reason you'll need access to this area really is to drain your boiler. You can see this yellow tab just there. That is in the vertical position, so that is actually open and draining now. To close it, you just need to knock it down like so, and that will then drain. That is really the only reason you need access down here, but that is where your boiler is. And then just below that, on the 2025 spec, on the winter pack, this switch here is going to be for your, in effect, underfloor heating, but this only runs off mains hookup. It's that powerful, it needs the mains hookup to run off. If you are using this, just remember it's really just going to take the ease off the floor. It's not going to heat up the vehicle. Your diesel heater will obviously do the main job. Under your passenger seat, as you can see, flashing lights in there, that is where one of your leisure batteries are. And then you have got a control box there, which you can see number 1 is lit up because the battery is connected. Number 2 is flashing because there is not a secondary battery in this vehicle. And then while we are at the front on the cab area, obviously we've got the new digital dash, the 8-speed gearbox, which is a great gearbox, and then we have got the new entertainment screen, great size, got Apple CarPlay, Android Connect. And then in the front here we have got blackout blinds. You just slide this bar towards you and then lift up. Just be gentle with these because they are expensive, and that just slides into place and locks down like so. Same on the front, you do need 2 hands for this. There's one lever here and one here. All you need to do is lift it up and it can hook on halfway, and then you can hook it up right at the top there. So like I say, you can black out this vehicle completely, and then once finished, slide them back and lock them into place. Anything on the steering wheel, you've got your cruise control, and then to the right is going to be your lights. But anything on the day you're unsure of, we can go through and connect your phone to the media pack. Above the passenger seat in the top corner here, this is going to be your drop down bed safety control. So these keys here are to switch off the drop down bed, just in case really you bump the button if someone's underneath it, or if kids obviously playing around, press a button, you can isolate this. Under this cover as well, you can take this cover off and your motor is under this cover for the drop down bed. The reason you need access to this, 2 reasons. One, your motor has failed, so you need to get access to the motor to wind up the bed manually. Or 2, you've run out of power on your leisure battery if you are off grid. It's very rare for the motor to fail, it's usually because you've run out of power. And then in the cab area, last bits are, you have got some extra curtains as well around, and then underneath these there's a little rocker switch there, as you can see, for some more ambient reading light. All the windows have got fly screens, got blackout blinds. You can do half and half if you want, if you've got a window half open, like so. We've got your dining table here. To use this fully, just pull this bar out here, flip the table over. Make sure you pull that support arm out, because that will then help you not to break this side of the table. So it does need to be pulled out when using. And you can move this around as well. It's on there's a screw to tighten it and loosen it, and it does slide around. And the last thing I'll show you is we'll get onto that actually because it's in the kitchen area now. So now we'll go over the kitchen area. So here we've got a pop-up side table, so you've got more work surface. Got USB Type C, and then we have got your Thetford 3-ring burner, oven and grill. You got 2-ring gas burner, so if you're off grid or you're cooking up your Sunday roast, you got more options to cook with. So obviously gas, when you're using gas, turn your gas tank on, use this nozzle here, twist it in, use the igniter like so. The gas will take 30 seconds to pull through, just keep it igniting, and then once it's pulled through it will be bled from the air. And then this one here is going to be your electric one, so that is when you are plugged into mains hookup. That won't work on your leisure battery. Safety feature we highlight is this glass cover here. Keep this up at all times after using your stove. The reason for that is because of the temperature difference. If you've got that window open, if it's a nice day, the breeze, because this will be colder than the stove, it could potentially shatter, so just keep that up. And then we've got your sink cover, and then got your tap. So if you need to prime your system, your water system, basically how this is going to work is you will fill your fresh tank up first. Once the fresh tank is full, turn your control panel on and then turn the pump on at the control panel. Then you need to come to your tap. On the cold side, open the tap. The pump will then pump the water out through the tap. Once that has come through with a nice steady flow, twist it to the hot side, and that will then pull through to your boiler. On the hot side it might take a few minutes. The reason for that is going to fill your boiler up first, and then it will come through the tap. Once that is done, you can shut the tap, leave the pump on, because the system is pressurized and primed. If you are emptying your system completely and traveling home, once you've drained everything, just leave the tap open. It just lets any air through the system and all the water to drain out. And then above the kitchen, in this cupboard here, we have got your hot water controls. So the one on the left where it says boiler EL, that's running off electric. So you've got two settings, a rocker switch, up or down. So the top one is going to heat your hot water up on electric. It'll probably take around 5 hours. The bottom one will take around 1 hour and 10 minutes just on electric alone. And then the one on the far right is going to be off your gas. So the top one is at 50 degrees and the bottom one is obviously at 70 degrees. The gas one will heat up a lot faster because gas burns hotter. And you can turn the gas on as well and turn the low electric on, just so you're not all burning on your gas, especially if you're on a campsite, because the electric is on mains hookup, it's not off your leisure battery. And that is in there. And then below, just below your sink, you've got 240 volt mains plugged there. This button is going to be your drop down table, and this is your drop down bed. As you can see, if you need to drop down the bed all the way, you need to make sure you drop this table all the way down, so then the bed meets the cushions. And then above, you'll see your drop down bed come down like so. I'm not going to bring this all the way down because I've got the cushions there, but as you can see, you can bring it all the way down, or if you're doing the 4 berth, obviously you'll have it halfway with your ladder and the table filling in the lower bed. Nice and smooth, like so. Last part in the kitchen area is going to be your fridge and freezer. You've got a decent size. To turn it on, press and hold the power button like so, and then it will light up. to go through the settings, it's on this touch square here. So the first one, we've got A, which is automatic. That's going to select the best source it has available. So as you can see, automatically goes for gas, because that is usually the best source you have when you are off-grid. The next one is mains hookup. So that's when you're plugged in at campsite or at home. The next one is basically, this is actually not running off a battery symbol. It's actually running off a live 12 volt feed when the engine is running. And then the last one is gas. So you can select them manually or leave it on auto on A, and then that will automatically select. So if I turn the ignition on, it would go off gas and go on to the battery symbol. If I plugged into mains, it would automatically go into mains hookup. This one here is obviously your temperature. You work what is the best temperature for yourself by using it. Most people usually say halfway is enough, but obviously it just all depends how much you load in the fridge and freezer. To turn it off, press and hold the power button, and that will shut down. Just below the fridge freezer in here, we have got some internal shut-off valves for the gas. So you got one which will be for the stove, and then one will be for the fridge. Reason for that, if one of the appliances goes faulty, you can isolate that and still use the gas. And then we've got your kitchen area. Sorry, it's a different kitchen, this, isn't it? But yeah, we've got your shower toilet area. Just so you know, your light switch is just here, nicely hidden. Same again with your tap. Leave it up if you are draining all the vehicle, let the air flow through. But that's just the same with your kitchen tap. When you are priming, you've got some soap and toothbrush holder, some shelving, and then you've got your cupboard up here, some storage. You've got ventilation above, so you can use this dial here to open this. Blackout screen, eye screen as well. And then below is your toilet. Just below we've got your blade, so you need to use this blade to open the toilet cassette when using. And then just down here is going, the blue button is your freshwater flush, so that is when you're flushing the bowl out. And then this symbol here, what looks like a toilet cassette, that will light up when the toilet cassette is nearly full. Got decent size shower area. As you can see, the tap's open again there because we've drained everything in the vehicle. More ventilation above. You've got this bracket here, so you can hang some your wet towels up and dry everything out. You've got your door, which is on sliders, and then when you are travelling, you can strap this up so it doesn't slide open. Here, as you can see, is access to the garage area from the habitation. As you can see, that light is now on because the control panel is on. Now, the last part is your amazing walk-in wardrobe. Got a lot of storage in here. You've got drawers, hanging space above. You've got a netting at the back. You've got shoe holders here, so you can slide your shoes onto the rack there. And that is everything internal complete. So that is the instructional / overview of the Chausson 640 Etape line complete. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, drop us an email. We have a few more coming in stock, so make sure you keep an eye on our socials as well. Follow us on our social media on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see more updates. Thank you.